When I moved into that apartment, I immediately started having bizarre dreams. I could see a dungeon, and I saw a girl in there, and this weird couple. What I discovered was there's a person that went missing from that apartment. I think she wants to be found. I am a grandma and I'm a mom. I had my daughter in 1997, and I was a single mom, and I moved to Chico, California. When I first got to Chico, I had seen a sign that said for rent, and it said Walnut Garden apartment. We moved into the apartment number 14, January 31st, 2000. It's hard to explain, but when I first moved in, it didn't feel peaceful, and it had this bizarre smell. And I say to myself, why are you feeling like this? Then the shit hit the fan. Hannah had this little pair of pink shoes. I always kept them by the doors.
I remember them being right in the middle of the bed. And my mom was like, did you put those there, Hannah? I'm like, no.
Like day after day, the shoes would be in the middle of the bed. There was like salt and pepper shakers. And in the morning when I'd wake up, they would be like at the very edge of the table. The other thing that was happening was I had these dreams that there was a girl walking down a street in Chico. During the dream, this man came behind her and put something over her mouth.
이어 어느 날 딸 해나가 마이리지라는 여성의 환영을 보며 여성과 대화를 나누기 시작했고, 해나는 그녀의 모습을 생생히 기억하기까지 했죠.
I remember calling her My Liz, and I remember seeing her vividly.
그뿐만이 아니었습니다. 외출하고 돌아온 집에는 뭔가를 암시하듯 전화기가 묶인 채 떨어져 있었고, 딸의 인형 또한 묶여 있었습니다.
I was shaken. I grabbed Hannah up, I scooped her up, and I ran out the front door. And so the police took a report. At their end of the phone, they're like, okay, lady, whatever. It all culminated into this one night in February of 2000. I woke up in the middle of the night, and then I hear white staticky TV noise. The cupboards were flapping open. All of a sudden, Ernie Doll's going, I feel great, like crazily. I feel great. So I take the batteries out of the doll.
And my mom freaking out because there was no batteries in it.
And then all of a sudden, boom, lights are all on. So I went to the neighbor who...
믿을 수 없는 기이한 현상이 계속되자 조디는 집을 나가 밤을 지새우게 되는데, 이웃집 노인에 의해 이 집의 사연을 듣게 되죠.
We hightailed it out of there. So by now, it's about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting out at the pool just crying. And then this older man who was walking his dog, he says, you know, Jody, nobody lives in that apartment very long. There was a girl who lived there in the apartment number 14. She's been missing ever since.
On January 31st, on Marie Elizabeth Spanicki, she went by the nickname Marliz. The missing persons report indicated she's a white female, 5'5", brown hair, 110 pounds. Her boyfriend indicated in the report he last seen her walking on Mangrove Avenue away from this flea market. No one had seen nor heard from Marie Elizabeth Spanicki.
Marliz was my sister. I was the oldest girl, and then Marliz was 3 years younger than me. She was very outgoing. She was very friendly.
1975년 배우가 되고 싶었던 말리즈는 동네 달건이 존 바로스를 따라 캘리포니아로 향하는데, 말리즈는 존과의 다툼에 이어 캘리포니아에 적응하지 못하고 있었죠.
And then she wrote me a couple of times. She told me that she wasn't liking it too much in California, and I think she was having trouble with John a little bit, and she had nobody to run to, nobody to talk to. Marla said she was coming home in April, and she never came home.
한편 조디의 꿈에선 말리즈에게 벌어진 일들이 보이기 시작했습니다.
My bizarre dream progressively got weirder and stranger. Now I'm seeing a location, a couple, a young woman, and I could see that they were in a house. It looked kind of strangely like a dungeon. There was this like weird hook, like a really big logging hook. There was something around her arms, and then she had something on her mouth. Now all of a sudden they're doing sadistic and weird things to this girl. Of the things that happened in that apartment, I took my daughter and I moved. I only stayed in that apartment for like 3 months. We went to a different apartment in Chico. When I got out of there, I thought it was done. This was behind me. I ended up dating this guy. One day, he came across this book, The Perfect Victim. It's like, Jody, oh my God, you're not gonna believe this. There was a girl that had gone missing from my apartment. And he found an article about a missing girl Marliz. Hannah, when she was little, kept saying she was talking to somebody called My Liz.
딸 해나가 어릴 적 대화하던 환영의 존재가 바로 실종된 말리지였던 것이었죠.
And then she showed me the picture of her. That is the girl that was in the apartment with us.
That was so freaky.
그 후 오랜 시간이 흘러 제니스 후커라는 여성의 충격적인 자백을 하게 되고 경찰관들은 해당 여성을 만나 이야기를 듣게 되는데 그녀는 말리지를 납치한 범인의 아내였던 것이었습니다.
Thing that I see when I get to the church and a woman named Janice Hooker. 1976, her husband Cameron had kidnapped and old a girl in Chico, California. Decided to grant immunity to Janice for her cooperation. Janice told me that the victim that they kidnapped in Chico was Marliz Spanicki. January 31st, 1976, Janice and Cameron had seen her walking on Mangrove Avenue.
She was walking along. He offers the ride. He's there with his wife. It looks very safe. He was looking for this type of woman who didn't have any ties to the community.
Cameron grabbed her with a knife to her throat, drug her back into the car, and they placed a head box over the top of her head.
The head box was constructed of wood and styrofoam, enclosed the head with this head box, and with that foam in there, basically prevented the person to be heard from any distance.
You'd be so disoriented, you wouldn't know what was going on. And then they drove about 40 miles all the way back to the house on Oak Street in Red Bluff.
They pulled up to the garage in the back of the house. The head box was off of her, and she was in a disoriented state. He said he had sprayed starting fluid into the rag, put that over Marliz's mouth to make her semi-unconscious. After getting out of the garage area, they carried her into the basement.
이어 캐머런은 말리지가 비명을 지르지 못하도록 성대를 자르려 했고 같은 피해자였던 제니스도 스톡홀름 증후군으로 캐머런을 돕기 시작했죠.
And Cameron threatened her that if she didn't help him, he was going to do the same thing to her. So she ultimately agreed and sat down next to Marliz in the bathroom floor. Marliz began bleeding heavily, so Cameron kind of got freaked out. Cameron lifted Marliz up and took her back down into the basement.
Janice came down here after Cameron had cut her throat. She saw Marliz hanging from the beam.
Janice said she felt that Cameron had strangled her with the rope and hung her by the beam, unclothed, with a pillowcase over her head. She was dead at that point in time.
Janice said they then carried the body back out to the car. They drove 30 miles north of Red Bluff on Interstate 5, where they turned off on a dirt road. Janice said Cameron dug a shallow grave and buried Marie Elizabeth Spanicki's body. After the burial, he burned all of her clothing, all of her belongings. So he kidnapped her, killed her, buried her, all within a half of a day.
캐머런의 범죄는 이뿐만이 아니었습니다. 말리지 실종 1년 후 친구의 동네에 깜짝 방문해 히치하이킹을 하던 콜린 스탠을 태워 똑같이 헤드박스를 씌운 후 납치했습니다.
Janice told us that Cameron kept Colleen as a hostage for 7 years. In 1984, Janice comes to Colleen and tells her that she's going to leave Cameron.
She has this period of time of years, almost 9 years, where she's trying to do what Cameron wants her to do and not get into trouble.
7년 후 제니스는 콜린과 도망치는 데 성공했고 이후 경찰관들은 생존자인 콜린에게서 말리지에 대한 정보를 얻을 수 있었습니다.
Well, everything you say matches what Janice told us. Do you know anything about this woman, Marliz?
하지만 제니스와 콜린의 증언뿐 어떠한 증거나 흔적도 남아있지 않은 상태였죠.
But to be able to continue with the side of Marliz, we needed Janice's cooperation.
They didn't have a body, they didn't have any evidence, they had nothing except Janice's testimony.
증거 없이 캐머런을 기소했다가 패소할 경우 더 이상 기소할 수 없게 되어 검사들은 신중했지만 말리지에 대한 범행 증거를 도무지 찾을 수 없게 되자 검사들은 일단 콜린의 사건으로 캐머런을 심판대에 올리게 됩니다.
Cameron Hooker went to trial for the and kidnapping of Colleen Stan.
It was such a sensational story to be kidnapped and held captive for over 7 years.
She was stripped, slashed with a leather whip.
He's more than capable of torturing somebody. I know, because he did it to me. He's more than capable of murdering somebody.
She said Hooker chained her hand and foot, shocked her with electrical cool. Situation was perfect. Said she was a good slave.
Details that came out during that trial were just staggering, but none of that had to do with Marliz.
We were forbidden from mentioning Marliz or saying anything about her in the trial.
Cameron was convicted on 10 counts.
I consider this defendant to be probably the most dangerous psychopath in that he appears to be exactly the opposite of what he is.
And he was sentenced to 104 years.
Cameron was sent to prison. Colleen Stan case was resolved. The side of Marie Elizabeth Spanicki was still open.
He's in there for kidnapping and whatever else he did to Colleen, but What about my sister's murder?
그렇게 시간이 한참 흘러 2000년이 되고 조디에게 말리지의 사건들과 한영이 꿈에 나타나기 시작했던 것이었죠.
There was like a couple and they were kind of like stalking somebody or looking for somebody. And then I would always hear the number 35.76. I had no idea what that meant at all.
이 꿈들이 의미심장하게 느껴진 조디는 말리지 사건을 조사했던 경찰에게 연락을 해 이렇게 말했습니다.
That she thought was related to Marliz's murder and potential gravesite.
정말 놀랍게도 경찰은 말리지 사건 조사를 재개하려는 당일날 연락을 받게 되었고 조디에게 말리지에 대한 정보를 얻어내는데 이는 제니스의 증언과 일치했습니다.
She told us that she was seeing the letter A and the numbers 17, as in A17, the area of going out 44, that is A17.
At the time you called us, we were searching an area where we feel she could be at. And you were envisioning this number, 35.76. And the number we came up with that mapping software was 35.77. All the elements that Janice gave us in her statement were on that road.
I feel like the spirit of Marliz was trying to get in touch with someone. And if I can help her, that's what I want to do.
하지만 말리지의 사건은 미제 사건으로 남게 되었고 사이코패스 캐머런은 2021년 가석방되어 주립병원에 있다고 합니다. 안녕하세요, 덕봉입니다. 풀리지 않은 미스터리 시즌3회 8화 14호 아파트의 유령이었습니다. 이번 영상도 실제 미제 사건을 재구성한 회차인데요. 캐머런은 코로나 시기에 가석방이 되었지만 정신병원에서 생을 보내고 있다고 합니다. 정말 충격적이네요. 두 번째 피해자인 콜린은 7년간 감금되어 온갖 고문과 협박이 시달리며 노예 생활을 이어나갔고 심지어 콜린의 가족을 방문해 남자친구 행세까지 했다고 하네요. 사실 말리지의 환영을 보게 된 조디와 해나의 이야기가 이 이야기의 메인인 것 같은데 캐머런의 범죄 행각이 너무나 끔찍하고 강렬해서 사건에 집중되어 버렸네요. 정말 끔찍한 사건이었습니다. 넷플릭스 오리지널 시리즈 풀리지 않은 미스터리 추천드리면서 오늘 영상 여기서 마치겠습니다. 재밌게 보셨다면 구독과 좋아요 부탁드립니다. 댓글도요. 제발 항상 건강하시길 바라겠습니다.